Imagine a country whose fingerprints are found on almost every continent, building roads in Africa, ports in South America, railways in Europe, and surveillance systems in Southeast Asia. That country is China, but wherever China goes, controversy follows. From accusations of debt trap diplomacy to concerns over digital surveillance and labor exploitation, China's global ambition is leaving behind more than just infrastructure. It's stirring up resentment, suspicion, and in some cases, fear. Let's begin with the Belt and Road Initiative, China's trillion-dollar project to connect the world through infrastructure. On paper, it sounds like a win-win. Developing nations receive funding for roads, bridges, and power plants, while China expands its influence and trade routes. But reality is far more complicated. Countries like Sri Lanka, Zambia, and Pakistan have found themselves drowning in debt, forced to hand over key assets or restructure under pressure. In Sri Lanka, for instance, China took control of the Hambantota port on a 99-year lease when the country failed to repay its loans. A deal many critics say resembles modern-day colonialism wrapped in financial aid. But it doesn't stop with ports and highways. China's global tech expansion is just as controversial. Huawei, for example, has been banned or heavily restricted in several countries due to concerns over data privacy and national security. Western nations fear that Chinese-made tech could be a backdoor for Beijing to spy on foreign governments and citizens. In Africa, China has helped build government data centers, smart cities, and surveillance networks. Supporters call it innovation. Critics call it digital authoritarianism. Exported. Labor practices in Chinese-led projects have also sparked anger. Local workers in parts of Africa and Southeast Asia often report unfair wages, long hours, and unsafe conditions. In Kenya, protests erupted after reports of mistreatment by Chinese managers working on a railway project. In Ecuador, environmentalists accuse Chinese oil companies of damaging the Amazon rainforest and threatening indigenous communities. The common thread? China's investment often arrives with few questions asked about labor rights, environmental sustainability, or democratic values. And let's not forget China's role in reshaping international institutions. From the United Nations to the World Health Organization, China is flexing its political muscle, trying to influence global norms to align with its own interests. Critics warn that Beijing is buying silence, offering aid to poorer nations in exchange for votes or support in diplomatic matters. The Uyghur issue, Hong Kong protests, and Taiwan's sovereignty are all topics where China seeks global silence, and in some cases, it's succeeding. But is the backlash just anti-China sentiment? Or is it a response to very real and troubling patterns? China's rise isn't just about economics, it's about rewriting the rules of global engagement. And for many nations, the cost of partnership is starting to outweigh the benefits. Still, it's important to separate the actions of a government from its people. Millions of Chinese citizens are just as concerned about transparency, rights, and fairness. The issue here isn't China as a nation, but a political strategy that prioritizes control over collaboration, power over partnership. So what happens next? Will the world continue to embrace China's money while questioning its motives? Or will we see a shift, a more cautious, critical approach to dealing with a superpower whose ambition knows no borders? If you found this video thought-provoking, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I promise, we dig deep into topics the mainstream often avoids. Share this video with a friend who needs to hear this, and drop a comment below. Where do you see this global trend heading? Let's talk.